Welcome back to Parsnips and Parsimony. You guys have been pleading with a pantry tour, freezer tour. I've been hesitant.
But you know why we were hesitant?
So I wouldn't consider ourselves preppers per se, but we do have a family of 10 and we try to be well prepared. And this has served us very well back in 2020 when there were so many shortages. Because we had been prepared, there was really never any interruption for us. Our normal life continued. And so what you're going to be seeing is just that preparedness. I would say on average, we probably have enough storage for a good 3 months of food, maybe even more than that, just depending on the items. So we have our pantry here, which is in our upstairs. This is the items that we use most frequently, and we keep them here, but as you'll see, we do rotate stuff down from our basement into here. This is just the easiest way to store it for us. And yes, this is an old TV armoire that we converted to a pantry. It has been a huge blessing. At some point in our 12-year kitchen remodel, this will be different,
right? But
for the time being, it works. So if you don't have a good pantry storage, get one of these free. They're all over the place. Facebook Marketplace. Pick one up for free and modify it. Okay.
Ready?
And this holiday season, we were actually gifted several large boxes of food. So there's more items in here than normal. These are some items that we normally wouldn't purchase, are enjoyed by our family, but we're gifted, so they're not our normal fare. So here it is. It's a little disheveled just because we had such an influx of food in this holiday season.
And I did organize this like, what, 3 weeks ago?
I think we even videoed that we organized it. And this is just, it's a functional pantry that got some overflowing. So we have Trim Healthy Mama here. This is primarily my items, vitamins, more Trim Healthy Mama, and then tea, because
tea. Let me show you this. This is we don't exactly fight over it, but well, it is well. I say, Janelle, do we really need this much tea? And okay, that's not enough tea.
Well,
look back there, more tea.
In totally my defense here, we have immunity tea. So when we're sick, this is echinacea tea. We went almost an entire box in our last illness. This is our own harvested red raspberry leaf, not something that I would maintain normally, but being that I'm pregnant, I harvested it myself to help stretch the budget a little bit. And then of course you have a leftover box of mother's milk tea from, you can't get rid of that because I'm pregnant. So, reality is we actually drink a lot of tea, and even if it may seem excessive to some, we're going through at least a box or two a month in the winter season. And then down here is just miscellaneous items that
basically some bottled cooking supply stuff.
Yes.
And I'm going to pick up that thing that fell. That happens a lot. And okay, then when we get chips and things, we bought some pretzels. We usually don't, but we did. And then in the back we did a haul on, let's see, can I see that? Yeah, on our way to Maine, we stopped. You can't see it. But anyway, we got some chips. We have maybe 10 or 12 bags of chips left that are back there, and they probably won't be there too much longer.
We paid what? $1 a piece?
50, I think 50 cents
a piece for tortilla chips. So we did go ahead and stock up. We bought those at the beginning of November, and here it is, January 3rd or 4th, and those are almost gone. So trying to keep a good balance on those, are generally on what we purchase. So our stock is rotating, taking advantage of deals when we can find them, because you don't always find good deals all the time. And then in this lower cabinet here, we didn't make any modifications here. These were already, we just set up the drawers or the shelves for certain heights, which made it a little better. So we have some pasta here. And
then
all right, pasta.
Lots of pasta.
We have pasta.
We do.
And then we have just some extra stock up items. And then over here is canned goods, tomato products, and a few miscellaneous things like that. Again, a lot of this was gifted to us. We don't usually have quite this much of the different variety of items, but we will be eating those down during our low spend challenge for January. So I couldn't let this one go. Because if you watch our daily or our vlogs, you probably have noticed that the top of our refrigerator has taken a little bit of a hit. And again, this is partly overflow. This shouldn't be up here.
It's usually not. We've done a very good job, but we got
gifted.
a great
So
influx
cereal,
of food.
We don't usually have that on hand. That was gifted to us. We had some yummy fruit cake also gifted to us.
I think almost everything on the top of the fridge was gifted except for the matzos.
Right.
And again, you'll see those if you watch our haul video from when we went to Maine. We bought 15 cases of matzos. Or is it 16?
No, Maine. That wasn't Maine. That was when I was first pregnant.
That's
We went
right.
to the auction
You're right.
discount food center, and that's where we picked those up. So this should get lightened up throughout the month of January, and then what my plan is for these matzos to actually be able to go into the pantry.
Once they fit.
We're not quite there yet, but my goal is for January for this to disappear. Okay, now onto the refrigerator. Always in a constant state of flux. I'm not even sure what's in here right now. So here we go. The good, the bad, and the
Okay,
ugly.
this is a little embarrassing here.
This is post New Year's Day, all that stuff. Last week, Art started the process of going through our freezer, which we did find some interesting goodies in there. And so some of the items did make it into the refrigerator so we could use this week. That includes this ham here, and then I have some sausage and some chicken breasts that we found. So we went ahead and pulled that out for this upcoming week of meals and menus, which you'll be seeing more on Instagram. If you haven't checked me out, all of the behind the scenes of this challenge is over on Instagram. And I will be doing weekly videos on how we're doing with our low spend challenge. But if you need to know the nitty gritty, it's over on Instagram. And then we just have miscellaneous items here. We did have some sickness running through our house this past week, and Charity did some shopping for me. So we have a few items more than we normally would. So you'll see there's a lot of yogurt here, but that for a month, this is probably going to maintain us so we don't have to buy yogurt. And then we just have miscellaneous leftovers and things like that. I would like to get this cleaned out, washed up, and start fresh. Reality is that isn't happening today, so.
Okay, and should you show them the eggs?
Yes.
So here are the eggs. Our chickens are laying very abundantly right now. And then, well, that's a little embarrassing. Okay, and this, do you know what it's like to show your refrigerator to probably 4,000 people? It's embarrassing, but...
Please don't go viral. That's all I can say. Please don't go viral. This is not the video to go viral. I've never had a viral video.
Yes, we have. How to roll up a sleeping bag.
I really don't want to see millions of people see my refrigerator and then critique how bad this is.
Okay, it is embarrassing, so at least I want it on record that we're embarrassed by it. We're on our way to the basement. We have some garlic there. We keep a few things on our way to the basement. Onions, spaghetti squash, and a couple other things.
We're down in our basement. Kind of a creepy place. Our house was built in 1901. So in the Northeast, this isn't that bad of a basement for a 100-year-old house, but it's kind of creepy down here. It is cold. We have an original stone foundation in here, so our downstairs temperature averages probably 45 to 50 degrees all winter, which makes it an excellent place for food storage. That's why we have these down here, even though it's kind of creepy down here.
Yep.
So this is our chest freezer here. It has everything from soup to meat to vegetables from the garden to fruit. I mean, it's got everything in here. We have a turkey?
Yes, we do.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so there's just a little bit of everything in here, and we're gonna definitely be having some time to eat this down. A lot of this is meat in here. And then in this freezer here, this is a lot of our mixed vegetables, broccoli, you know, you name it, it's in here.
Tell them about our mixed vegetable purchases recently.
What is that? Where did that come from?
Where did what come from?
Hamburger?
The kale? That's kale, I think, isn't
Oh,
it?
this looks like hamburger. I don't know.
Okay.
I told you there's things in here that are a mystery, and that's why we are doing a low spend challenge.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about the mixed vegetables. Janelle kept buying mixed vegetables, and I said, I think we're almost out. Well, guess how many I found when I cleaned the freezer? Guess. Take a wild guess. We'll give you a few seconds here. No, you already know, Janelle.
I know I do.
Okay, go ahead and tell them.
37?
Yes, I found 37. There very well may be more, but it's like we forgot we had it. So that's why we need to do this clean out.
So what happened is, first of all, back in the beginning of 2020, we were unable to get mixed vegetables, which wasn't really a huge deal. Again, we're eating out of our storage last year, so not a big deal. And then in the chest freezer where I was keeping most of these, we just put them on the top. Well, as things came, and I'd say, Art, could you grab X, Y, and Z from the freezer? The mixed vegetables slowly just kind of work their way down the bottom. And because we haven't cleaned this out in a year and a half, I think that's when we got this, right? 2020?
Yes.
Things just worked to the bottom. And when we did finally start the process of cleaning it last week, we found lots of treasures. But that's all right. This is a deep freezer. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They haven't thawed out. They've just been very cold.
For a very long time.
Very long time. So a couple of the things that we have also down in the basement is our canned goods. So one of our projects that we want to tackle this year, we wanted to do it last year, but between building a greenhouse, expanding our garden, canning our own food, and did I say building a chicken coop?
No, you forgot that one.
Between all those things, the pantry part did not get finished last year. And so that is something we want to tackle this winter. And so if you would so kindly show them what's at the bottom of my feet.
Embarrassing, embarrassing here.
Okay, so we have a whole bunch of our canned goods that we went ahead and canned this summer.
Yes.
These need to go on shelves. We did pick up these crates, which have worked really well for being able to stack and contain these canned goods. However, what we ultimately want to do is redo this section of the basement with proper shelving for our canned goods, which will ultimately make it more functional and easier to keep organized and staying on top of what we have in our pantry, because as you can tell, all this canned goods, it's kind of hard to know how many green beans do I have because they're in crates. But over here we have these shelves that we had when we moved in. The previous owner had
and we're
built them.
really hoping that they don't collapse
Right.
before we put, well.
I mean, they've held up for 17 years since we've been here, not to mention how long the previous owner had them. So they've held up, but we don't want to put all of our eggs in that basket, and we're concerned. So that's part of the reason why our canned goods from 2021 are not on these shelves. We wanted to lighten those loads up.
Yes, I don't dare put any more weight on there.
We've got empty canning jars here, and then we have some rhubarb sauce, bone broth from past years, peaches, miscellaneous salsas, and jams and jellies and relishes
over
and
there,
things like that.
Yeah, over there I think is mostly beans and salsa.
And what you see in front of this is some of our cabinetry, but because of this mess,
tools.
Our canning jars, our canning lids, things we just didn't want to put back on those shelves for fear that in the middle of the night we're going to hear a bang, and that's going to be the end of our pantry. So we're in a little bit of chaos now that we finished up all of our outdoor projects. It's January. We can finally start working on some of these indoor projects, which we're hoping will be this pantry this upcoming winter. It should be here. We should be filming that for you guys. First, low spend challenge. That's what we're going to do first. So over in this corner, we have a pallet to elevate it off the floor. We have our bulk food containers. These, I'll put a link for them down in the description if you guys are interested. They have been hard to get a hold of because a lot of people have been doing more of this stocking up. These have been wonderful. They have a seal on the inside of these, so they're like a canning jar. And we've had these for 5 years? 6 years?
Something like that. And we have bought more over the years. We started out with, what, 4, and now we're up to 9.
We really do like them. They work well for being down here, and just we haven't had things spoil in them. So these contain our grains, cornmeal, currently brown sugar popcorn, 2 different types of flour. I think there's a whole wheat flour in there too.
Breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs. Did I say brown sugar?
Did you say cornmeal?
I think I said cornmeal.
Okay.
So the items do change, fluctuate as we use things up, and then we need a bigger container. The other containers that we absolutely love, and we didn't show this upstairs, we need to show them the island.
Okay.
These are Cambro food storage containers. We bought these. These are what restaurants use. Not a huge investment. Usually the bottom is right around $3, $4, $5 a piece, and then you buy the lids. These have held up beautifully. They stack beautifully. They keep the bugs out, and I think the stacking feature is huge for me. So we have a whole bunch of those, and then we have like kidney beans, coconut, lentils. We have just a whole variety of different bulk foods that as we pick them up, usually as distressed or damaged items from our bulk food supplier, again, saving money when we buy these whole foods, that we just put them in these containers. And this always is fluctuating, just depends on how things are going.
Right. Yeah, I usually come down here maybe once every 3 weeks or so and check things out, see what needs to be rotated and all that. So.
And back when 2020 hit, we actually ended up buying a lot of dried bean products, and we're getting towards the end of those, so I would like to put one big push of finishing up those, making sure those have been rotated, and then we'll go ahead and restock with fresh. So another reason for this low spend challenge is to be able to rotate this stock a little bit better.
And also, I like these. Need a comment right here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they are behind me. This is what we grew in our garden this year. And we've got pumpkins. We've got these blue pumpkin squash. I don't remember the name of them. We've got, let's see, these are types of zucchinianos and things like that. Again, this basement's so cool. It's really a good place for them to just hang out, and I do hope to eat some of those.
Yes, we have been eating them on occasion too.
Yeah, well, it's been the holidays. You know, holiday times you usually don't bring mashed squash to holiday events, but we're gonna start working on that in January. We have one last pallet of food here, and a lot of this was our bulk food supplier had a major blowout this summer, and these prices were ridiculously
And I will say most of the stuff here was free.
Yes.
I mean, totally free.
So what you're seeing up here is egg cartons, just because the chickens started laying so profusely that now we have a little side business for local friends and neighbors buying our eggs, and they very kindly save their egg cartons for us. So we have a little bit of an egg carton avalanche going on right now. Again, we should actually just stack them and put them on the shelf.
Yeah, well,
we kind of
yeah, I'm going to do that soon.
So here we have, this was free. I had dishwashing soap. I mean, can you pass up free dishwashing soap? No. So that's down here. We have our pickles when we were in Maine. $1 for a half-gallon jar. Hello.
Yeah, can you pass that up too? No, we can't pass that up.
Pass that up. We have sunflower seeds, and then these big cans of, were these $1 a piece?
Those actually I think were more expensive. I think we bought those by mistake.
Oh, those were the mistake ones. We do make mistakes.
Yeah, we'd overpaid for them, but that's okay.
I didn't want
we'll
to
use
return them. What about the canned tomatoes though? Weren't they $1 a can?
Yeah, something like that. They were cheap.
When, again, just before this big sale happened, we have someone that we connected with at our supplier, and he saw us walk in. He goes, I have a whole pile of stuff. Do you want to see if you're interested? And he gave us so many amazing deals. Again, it pays to get to know your bulk food suppliers, because if they know you're interested in some of those dented and damaged items or near date items, they will give you an amazing deal for a fraction of the price.
Okay, and what you cannot see in here, underneath everything,
Pasta.
are I'm going to say 200 pounds of pasta, which was free. Totally free, and we got some big, huge thing of aluminum foil.
Those were what, $2 or $3?
Something like that.
For
Super
500
cheap.
feet.
And we don't use a lot of aluminum foil, and so this is going to last us like probably, I don't know, the rest of our lives maybe. And then plastic wrap. Again, we don't use a lot of plastic wrap. Usually you put it into other containers. So this plastic wrap, this is probably a lifetime supply there. And
the food
what else
storage
is under
containers here were free. These are actually more for gardening, starting plants and things like that. These don't have lids with them, so I'm not, you know, they're here because this was a good place to put them. They actually should go in my greenhouse. So there, I think that pretty much, you got the pasta, we got the aluminum foil. I think that pretty much covers it. We ultimately would like, again, to finish these shelves and then be able to have like a walk-in area where all the bulk food is right here, and then Art would have his workshop on the other side of the basement. We're not there yet. It's a work in progress. But I think that's what we're working with for our low spend challenge. You can see we have been blessed with an abundance. We're going to really eat down what we have here. Again, being able to spend up to $125 for the month of January. If you didn't catch all the details of this challenge, I'll put a link up here and you guys can go watch that video for how what our conditions are for our low spend challenge. But I think we're going to do really well. I'm not feeling stressed at all because, you know, I have that cushion of being able to get milk and lettuce and the fresh fruits and vegetables as we need. But I think we're pretty well set up to just use what we have. I have not looked at the sales in the newspaper yet.
Oh, avoid the temptation.
The one thing, actually, I was chatting with you guys on Instagram is I did not plan on laundry soap. That was something I usually don't run out of and I am short on. So I will be scouring the deals are for a good price on laundry soap because we're going to need that. So that will have to get factored into our budget. But other than that, I think we're pretty well set up. If you're joining the challenge, make sure you use the hashtag LSChallenge22 and tag me. I'm over on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, but most everything's happening on Instagram. And tell me what you're most excited about the challenge, how your meals are going, and what your goals are for January. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope we haven't scared you off from our channel after seeing this. And we'll see you for our next video. Bye.